zone.
A Code S player will be decided today in this final match between Sora and Hack. If Hack can do this, not only will he pull up an insane upset, beating such a great favorite player, Sora, but he'll become one of 4 legendary Terrans to have survived and gotten into Code S this season in a time that I think nobody will forget. Even if, including Hack, every other Terran player makes it into Code S, it'll probably be the lowest representation we have ever had in the GSL for Terran players.
Yeah, and I highly doubt that we will see every other Terran player go into Code S, not with how the last few weeks or the last few groups actually went. But let's find out if Terran player number 4 is going to join the 3 Musketeers that we already have who qualified for Code S. Hack might be the 4th of the Fantastic 4. Sora currently is the opponent that he has to overcome, that he has to defeat here, and he did it already in the WCS qualifier, in the Code A qualifier, so to speak, for WCS that we saw just about 10 days back. We're going into the game right now. This is the GSL Code A. It is Hack versus Sora, brought to you by Colin Wolf.
Sora versus Hack.
Our StarTale Terran starts to the bottom left of Frost, our first map in the last best of 3 of the day. StarTale Hack, Terran player in blue. He just defeated Reality with a 2-0, a very impressive performance in the mirror matchup. Now he's going up against the Protoss player, and it's a strong one at that, starting to the bottom right of Frost. You currently see our Protoss here starting for CG Entus. It is Sora, defeated by DRG in the winners match.
Sora with his crazy clicks there in between his natural and his main base. You can just see it reflecting on his glasses so fast, so dangerous.
And well, I actually met Hack. I went to the bathroom real quick between the matches, and I met Hack, and I asked him, so Hack, first of all, I wished him good luck. He's like, oh, thanks, and he was actually in a pretty good mood because he won the last match, and I asked, like, how's the TVP these days? And he's like, Tosimba. That's the only thing that he said, so not too happy about the matchup. On the other hand, if you look at his statistics, he actually does quite well against Protoss these days. Not only did he defeat Sora already in the Code A qualifier 2 weeks ago, where they faced each other. It was a 2-1 victory for the Terran player, but he was also successful at IEM Singapore at the end of 2013 against players like Squirrel and Grubby. He defeated Mixet and Crank. So in general, he's not doing too bad here, but it's still Sora's best matchup. So that says a lot here, and we're gonna find out if Sora is able to go to Code S, or if Hack actually is in a position where he can defeat Sora again.
1 in each gas is actually silly. I think 2 in 1 gas is gonna save you more minerals and get your nexus up faster, but I guess if you do it this way, then you can get your gas mining back up to normal much faster, and he puts them all in, it looks like here. So I don't know what was up with that. It got him his core faster, and then maybe he just didn't react very quickly. I just thought that was a bit strange. As it is, though, he does not go for CC, or neither does he go CC first, but nor does Sora go Nexus first. What we've seen in this matchup already today on this map, both times, was the latter, or the former. The CC first versus Nexus first, all that we've seen on this map today in this matchup, but today it's different in our final series.
Yeah, the one thing that we saw in the series that Sora already played in Terran vs Protoss in this group was that we had Reality with a lot of aggressive drop play, especially Marauder attacks against Nexi, trying to burst down the main structures of Protoss here to get a lead in the game. But Sora did a very good job with his timings and always identified the windows that he had. Hack, on the other hand, let's see what kind of style he uses against the opponent. We didn't see him in the matchup so far yet. We saw him going up against the Terran and against Zerg. He has to practice all the matchups here, of course, since there are 2 Terran players in the group. Engineering Bay currently being started for him, so he will have a faster upgrade there. And with the Reaper in the map, he can not only take down that probe over here, but also try to get additional scouting information at the bottom right to find out what exactly Sora is up to. And Sora starts things off with a Stargate. We do not see him with the Twilight Council tech that he chose on this map against his earlier opponent.
No, and a very fast +1 for Hack means he will also be able to place turrets very early. to deter Oracles. It's a good position, on the other hand, for Sora's Oracles. He's going to be able to get them there very quickly. 5 Marines here. With a 6-1, he's not going to be scared of any Oracles going to its space, but he starts a reactor first, looks like, or maybe that's the Tech Lab, yep, for Stim. And he's got Marine coming down here anyways from his first barracks. See how much damage this gets done. For Sora, even if he doesn't get a massive amount of damage done, the Oracle's still going to be annoying. It's always going to be a threat. It's going to keep Hack a little bit passive. And it's just so close by.
Talking about a threat, will he see it?
No.
Goes in.
Oh
yes,
my God.
He does. He sees the Stargate and he knows what's up.
Should not have... well.
That was a Suicide Reaper on a mission.
He really wanted to see it, and, you know, he saw it.
It was actually like when you were playing football and you have the last few yards to cover and he just jumped into the zone and got the touchdown there. That's what just happened. He jumped in and was taken out while he was midair.
Well, luckily for football players, they don't actually die when that happens.
Well, some of those hits are pretty brutal, Wolf.
It's true. It's just no deaths. Those are pretty brutal, though. I will agree with you. All right. Even though he saw this and he had the ability to make turrets, he's just confident in how his Marine count is right now. He's not even going to make any turrets. Well, that's going to cost him a few Marines.
Yeah, that's going to cost him like a lot of Marines, actually. He already lost 4. Huh.
Thing is, if he makes turrets, he has to make them not only in his mineral line, but also... Oh, wow. Well, let's just forget everything I was going to say. I was going to say that if he wants to make turrets, he has to make them not only in his mineral line, but also in near the Marines, because Marines by themselves without the turrets in low number can be picked off like that.
Yeah, so in the end it was okay. Not losing Harvesters. That was a trade that Hack is probably saying like, yep, I can live with that.
A bit miscontrolled there by Sora.
I'm not 100% sure if he got 3 Marines or 4 in the end.
4.
It doesn't really matter too much. Yep, 4, that's what I thought. So we have him now without losing any SCVs. His mining is completely intact. He already has the +1 attack upgrade going into +1 armor. Stim halfway done. It's a good opening here for Hack.
You can see the man in the missile turret in this camera shot, by the way. There's a man in there.
Yeah, there was a picture on Reddit, and it's now shown as well. You know, I've played StarCraft for 2 years and never realized that there's actually a person sitting in that missile turret.
Well, I knew from War, but wow. He just... What? First of all, most people wouldn't make a second Oracle, so that's kind of confusing for Hack.
Wow, that pain! 7 killed and mining time lost.
And he turns his Marine attack around, which means that what he wanted to do, this whole plan is totally disasterized, destroyed.
Coming back to that missile turret, by the way, I want to put a straw poll up and just ask people if they think that the guy in that turret gets dizzy over time.
Ooh, that's a good...
It's a 40-minute game, you know. The missile turret has been built like 5 minutes into it.
And he's always spinning.
And he's spinning the entire time. And at some point, he's probably getting like totally seasick. I wouldn't be surprised if you would actually discover that there are a couple of buckets in the turret as well, just when he throws up.
The biggest concern I feel is when he starts to land, you know, walk on land, he's gonna have like sea legs. He's gonna have some trouble.
Yeah, I know, if like suddenly like one of the Oracles moves in and the turret like turns really fast and then starts like turning in, yeah, like this, exactly like that.
Look at how fast the Oracle flies.
Yeah, that acceleration buff that he got there gets... that was, yeah.
Close call there.
I thought it would get away. For a second, I really thought it would get away. 9 rockets killed. Sora is going to be happy with the last Oracle, but the first one just didn't do enough damage. In general, if you look at the Harvester count now, the Terran player is still a little bit behind. That's exactly how it should be, since the Protoss player, even though he's now building the Mothership core, can still use his Chrono Boost to get the probes out a little bit faster. The Terran player always has to lose some time to get those 2 orbit attacks.
Part of the reason why there's not a bigger discrepancy in Harvesters is because Sora has not been chrono boosting workers. He's been chrono boosting his Colossi, he's been chrono boosting his Oracles, chrono boosting his Forge upgrades instead of his workers, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just that it hurts his income slightly, but it gets him faster tech, which is oftentimes what the Protoss wants instead. He's actually cut worker production because he knows this attack is coming, and he wants to make sure he has everything he needs to defend it. 2 Colossi is everything he needs to defend it, even without range. He's going to have no problems with this. And
Hack suddenly realizes that he's up against Colossi, starts his Viking production in the second starport too, so he really wants to have something on the map that can contest those 2. But a 3rd base is now being built, already discovered by Hack, who saw the probe, saw the pylon.
Let's see how
that's going to be a Nexus.
Let's see how good Hack's multitasking is here when it comes to harass, because he is going to have to really make up for this. Double Forge is on the way for Sora. He's going to have that second Forge, so he can get double upgrades here. He already starts a +2 armor. will start his attack upgrade in just a moment. The Colossus here, out of position. The Immortal almost getting targeted down. But he will maybe lose his Nexus. I don't know if he has enough. I don't think he does. I think the Nexus is going to have to be cancelled.
Yep, definitely has to. And he just moves back. There are no Templars for feedback, no Stalkers with Blink, so...
He saw the medevac, so he moved his Stalkers in the main base, which is actually a pretty smart choice. I'd rather him do that than if he had his Stalkers here and suddenly Hack goes in the main base and loses way more. It's just that Hack capitalized on this, and he punished for it. So that Nexus has to be remade, and now both bases, both thirds are starting to run at the same time. Zealot not able to slow this down, even though there was a clear target there.
Hack simply has Marines everywhere on the map to spot what the Protoss player is doing. He had one at the potential third base, one at the fourth, he had one at the bridge over there. So he knows every single time that Sora is sending out units where exactly they are.
Getting away with the Stalkers. 50 to 56 Harvesters. Sora sacrificing economy again here for tech. 3 Colossi out. The 2-2 for him is behind the +2 attack only for Hack, but he's going to be a whole set of upgrades ahead, and that could get even worse with 3-3 depending on how you chrono boost that if Hack doesn't actually start his armor upgrades. He's a bit starved for minerals right now, to be honest, because he's spending most of his resources on making those very beefy Vikings. They cost a lot of money. And he's also getting, of course, a Marauder-heavy army, because that's what you want as Terran, because it does more damage to armored units, which are the tough ones, and they have more hit points.
It's also that we have now a third base coming up for Hack too. He's a little bit behind the expansion that we see for Sora there, and Sora with those upgrades is going to have a big lead in the next fight, especially since he's also getting the charge upgrade, which will create some space for his Colossi. So that's going to be very important for him here. We see that one bunker going down, and I think that's probably at the third base location, which is going to be important for Runby, so that he can just put 1 or 2 Marines in there and deal with the Zealots that are trying to get in. A pick off at the Stalker here, so that was already worth it. And if you just look at the numbers in general, yep, there is a bunker. Very smart move, but the Zealot is already taking that down. At the end, the bunker will be there and will help him. But that's a lot of Vikings, actually. 12 Vikings already against 5 Colossi. That's a pretty good number for him.
That's a really nice number. Colossus here at the front, hallucinated. The 2-2 upgrade's about to finish and charge. This is a good timing for Sora to do damage, and I think Sora realizes, you know, I'm not at the worker count of my opponent. I need to do something here. Stalkers blink in here. He's basically trying to bait him to commit to stimming and fighting underneath Colossus fire. Those thermal lances are going to rip through this army. Still no more pro production. Now he starts it again.
We'll soon have 14 Vikings in the game, even 15. He started 3 at a time now. The Ghost Academy has been started before the Templar Archive, so that will definitely give him the Ghosts to deal with the High Templars. But in a fight, I think right now Sora would get crushed with all those Vikings.
Sora keeps picking away at those units with his Stalkers. I really like that he does this. This is something that takes a ton of multitasking to be able to do. He's making the switch into Storm, into High Templar. At the same time, though, Mobius Reactor is already on the way before the Templar Archive is even finished.
The income lead for Hack is just crazy, and he is getting all the upgrades that he needs. The thing that is a bit scary is that Sora gets the upgrades for 3-3. The upgrades I was talking about is more things like the Ghost, the Mobius Reactor, probably Personal Cloaking after that. In terms of the upgrades for his Bioforces, he's lagging a little bit behind. That's the huge advantage that Sora has.
Sora's already a whole set ahead in armor, and he's going to be 2 sets ahead in armor and 1 set ahead in attack for a brief window. Hack barely has like enough to buy it. He could actually just buy the upgrades.
That Viking count is getting out of control. He's going to be at 20.
That's almost too many.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be at 20, and that's going to annihilate the entire Colossus army within a flash. But on the other hand, he doesn't have a lot of Vikings here with the army.
2 Templar here. I think that's... No, it's Storm's not ready. That wouldn't make any sense. So it must just be Zealots in there. They're going to get shut down. Look at even a bunker here. Hack is like...
Wow, that reaction. Placing that War Prism between the 2 missile turrets. Well done by Sora. Good job.
EMP on those Zealots going to help out quite a bit. The Vikings make quick work of the War Prism, and the Ghost, 1 goes down, so that's already a pretty big win. The Zealots there are like...
just blasted away.
Keldor is 3-3.
Yeah, those upgrades. That's the one thing that really scares me when I look at the situation here. The Vikings, on the other hand, I mean, you need a couple of Storms to really deal with those.
4 Templar.
What's those Zealots still doing
went
there?
From like total domination when it comes to defense, 2 turrets in a bunker to like nothing. Storm hits some of the Vikings, taking a dent.
Yeah, but not. Oh,
okay, well
that hurt.
That changes things.
But he's basically one-shotting Colossi right
Goodbye, now. Mothership Core.
Yeah.
And where's... Oh,
he's just moving in, and another Colossus, another one, another... He's just sniping them, he doesn't even care. He's soaking up the damage and makes room for the bio.
Oh, EMPs every single Templar.
Oh wow, hits the Templar, and all of the Colossi are gone, and now it's time for the Bio Army to move in, and Hack has 100 army supply against 70. He's just crushing through this. Oh my god.
More Zealots, and he needs a storm or two, and he's going to actually hold this back because of those upgrades. The lack of armor, and the 3-3 is done. Hack just barely, I mean a hair away from having enough to actually just end this game before the upgrades, but it's just not going to happen.
He doesn't have the medevac count right now to really sustain the power of his army. He can't heal those units up fast enough. He lost all the Vikings, but it was incredible how fast he just took down all of those Colossi. He was so close to pushing through, and he still has an advantage in the game, but it's those upgrades that is that damage that Sora has there.
Sora is going to lose that 4th base because he was not aware of his opponent's army location. This is a problem with not controlling the watchtower, not having any vision, and really, this is just a game sense lapse, because for him, like, where's that army going to go? He's not just going to sit on the watchtower. Of course he's going to go looking around for bases. He didn't notice the comsat sweep that went down on his base, and then he loses his whole nexus because of it, and that income that he's losing right now is starting to hurt him a little bit.
It's hurting him a lot, especially since Hack is catching up on upgrades.
Yeah, Hack is catching up on upgrades. He still has the army lead, and with good EMPs, he's going to win this fight for sure.
That's going to be the important part now. How well the players control their spellcasters, how well the Ghosts and the High Templars are controlled here. Because one of the problems that Sora really had in the last fight was that he was clumping his High Templars up, and that one EMP hit home, and then you don't have any energy left to really cast those Storms. Because Storms is one of his best tools right now in the arsenal, just because we have such a low medevac count in the game. Hack can't really afford to take a lot of damage on his bio. He has only 5 medivacs. In the last battle he had even less than that, but now he realized that he needs to have more Vikings since we have a double Colossi production for Sora. So Storms and EMPs plus Snipes, that's really what's going down in the next fight.
Yeah, and he's also very Marine heavy this time, which means his army size, when you look at it, isn't as powerful as you might think. He's got to make sure that he controls splits and gets the snipes. Here comes the first storm. Well, he's not going to use it. Actually saves that Templar with a blink. Very nicely done. I like that he saves that storm. And now, Hack, the lead he had in the game the gap has been closed, and he doesn't this time have enough Vikings to deal with the Colossi, especially with the next 2 coming out. So he's making 3 at a time. He's trying to close that window. This is just, like you said, it all comes down to control here. But no 4th base still for Sora, no 4th base for Hack.
Where is that +2 armor upgrade?
This fight could actually decide everything. Is he going to commit? No, not with the line of sight blocker on that watchtower.
And where is the +2 armor upgrade? He needs that. He's on 3-1 Hack, that is. He got the 3rd attack upgrade, but he needs armor. There it is, halfway done. He's getting it as we speak, and he's going to catch up with that. A 4th base being taken by Hack, 1 Zealot is not enough to contest it. And that's the 4th, of course, also for Sora, once again.
But the thing is, this 4th base is already mining. It's the relocation of the main base, so it's not an additional command center, but I like this because he's spending all of his resources on army.
6 Colossi against 9 Vikings, a very different picture from what we saw earlier. He's trying to get the Vikings, but he doesn't have the numbers right now. That bridge is so scary. Double Storm being dropped to prevent the Terran player from moving in and getting those EMPs in.
There's no way Hack can commit to going through this bridge.
No.
Neither player. This is the Bridge of Doom, man. You do not walk through the Bridge of Doom.
Not in a Terran versus Protoss. Storms and EMPs just too strong if you cluster up in that funnel.
Anything versus Protoss. And not against, like, I guess, Infestors either, but that's a pretty weird situation if that ever happened.
Well, we're going into a position where the Xel'Naga Watchtower is going to become super important once again. Where the Vikings, are they getting a good position against the Colossi? We're going to find out right now. A second starport is being dropped.
Here we go! Those Templar are so everything right now.
And here comes the first shot with the Vikings. Feedbacks are being used. That Archon is not going to happen here. No. Army supply is still in favor of Hack. He has that 4th base a little bit faster. He has the saturation already.
One thing I really want to see is a Warp Prism. I want to see Templar on the Warp Prism. I want to see Ghosts and Medevacs. That could be a game changer.
Talking about the Vikings, we have 14 again.
He's actually... He cannot go through here.
Well, he can as long as there's no High Templar, but there's
like,
nice sniper.
I cannot believe we're going to watch a player actually get through the Bridge of Doom.
Well, as long as there's no army on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's actually able to push his way through here, but he's not going down this ramp.
He has the high ground, though, now against this 4th base. Here come those Storms. Can he get the snipes or the EMPs? Yes, he gets 1 EMP up a little bit late, but still, he has the high ground. Look at this army, though. Everything is down to the red.
Everything is down to the red. He tries to get EMPs off on these Templars, losing so many Ghosts in the process. The Ghosts are all targeted down. One more EMP on the Templar, he needs it.
Oh, the Storm hits.
And the Bridge of Death. The Terran army is not in the right place, Counter. Now he is. But it
It's
doesn't
too
matter
late.
because
The
of the range.
Vikings
The
are
Vikings
gone.
not enough. Not enough to stop this
Blink
Blink through.
forward, GG.
GG.
Sora takes that.
Stormed on the Bridge of Doom.
To be honest, that was that was not the deciding factor. He lost
The
already too much before he
upgrades.
retreated.
The upgrades.
Yeah, but like he ate storms on that high ground. He actually ate 2 at the beginning, and then he tried to retreat, and it was already too much. His army was down to the orange and to the red already when he started to move back. And the Vikings, that was the big part, losing them without killing the Colossi. If you trade them off, it's still going to be a tough battle for you when you retreat, but this was too much damage.
Sora needs to chill. He's taking a deep breath. He's up in this series now. He kept his economy low the entire game. That just goes to show that Protoss is not about money. It's about the tech. It's about the AOE. You keep that tech up, you keep your upgrades up, and you keep your you keep your Colossus count up and your storms ready. That's how you win the game. Daedalus Point is the map that Hack picks, the bane of Protoss. And this matchup pretty balanced, but still very wide open areas for Hack to split his units and do damage. Sora's got to keep his wits about him here.
The Terran player is behind 1 map, and this would be Protoss player number 15 to advance. If he takes it.
15.
15 players out of 32 that we are going to have in total.
Nearly
would be
half.
Protoss. And of course we have tomorrow also 2 additional groups.
Yes. All right, let's see if Hack can tie up the score here against his Protoss opponent, Sora, or is Sora going to take the 2-0 and advance to Code as the 15th Protoss? I'm Wolf, with me as Calder. Let's go to Daedalus Point.